Hi, how's everyone? Thanks for coming back. Hello and welcome if you're new. Glad you found me. We're doing a hidden truth reading today. And when I was shuffling the cards, the Two of Cups definitely stayed steady coming out. So we are going to go ahead and lead with that. And then we're going to pull the middle cards, okay? So we've got the facade, which is the the Page of Wands. Then we've got the Hidden Truth. Oh, Nine of Cups. Awesome. And then the Reality. Oh, the Nine of Swords. Okay. So somebody's in their head about what they want. Now, let's see. How am I going to do this? Choo, and then back. Okay. So underneath that Two of Cups, we had the Eight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, but we're going to switch it up and we're going to split the deck like this so that this is the bottom. And we have the Six of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so somebody may feel like things are out of their control and they've been through a loss of a Six of Cups. That's unfortunate. Do have the Ace of Swords underneath that also, but we won't go that far. Sometimes I have to hide because if I see it, I want to address it. So let's put that there. Let me adjust this so you can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so the Two of Cups wanted to be addressed. This was recognition and love, a blessing, a connection out in the open. Two people who are coming forward, making it public, making it known, even to each other, even to themselves, that they choose this connection. Okay. The facade is that this is this Page of Wands. This is saying about strength and challenges. Declare strength and meet challenges. Okay? So the pages, they come in and they are very enthusiastic. They're very sincere. They're very ambitious for whatever their goal is, but they're not tested yet. So they may lack confidence. Even this Page of Wands, which Aries energy, they do not lack outwardly confidence. The fire signs are known to be very confident in themselves, but a lot of times, especially with Leo energy, that confidence is it's not really earned. Sometimes they just are confident because they have that power. They feel powerful. This Page of Wands, he is trying to be strong, but it's new for him. Remember, the pages are new, but he does come with a message of wanting to initiate something. This could be a fire sign. This could be energy in that you're dealing with, or that is in your chart. You may have Aries or Leo or Sagittarius somewhere, or you may be dealing with one. But this person, he's coming in. I heard gallant for some reason. He's coming in confident, but the offer is young. The offer is untested. The energy is a little bit, it feels a little bit unreliable, but not for anything malicious. It's just they're unreliable because they lack the experience, but they don't lack the enthusiasm or the drive, okay? Next to that is that Nine of Cups. This is somebody who's ready for long-term happiness as opposed to fleeting pleasure. Now, that's a very different change for the fire signs, even the Leos who are fixed energy. Once their hearts get fixed on something, that's their thing, right? Um, they want me to say, because I know, because I'm a Leo moon, And the moon is your emotions and feelings and how you love and your deep shadow and everything. And when my heart loves something or someone, that's it. It's like that's it. That fixed energy is like, that's my person. That's who I love. They're mine forever. I fed them, I kissed them, I licked them, I whatever. I held their hand. That's mine forever. So even the fixed energy can come in a little bit, what was I going to say? I can't remember now. That word left me. So this person is looking at their Nine of Cups. They're ready. They're ready for something good, something permanent. We've got the Two of Cups here, so this must be the issue of taking a new connection. Are you ready to take a new connection? Yes, you're ready, because you've got all your 9 cups lined up in a row like ducks. You got all your ducks in a row, and the person standing there on the balcony with all his cups set up and ready, like milk and cookies for Santa on Christmas night, just waiting for the blessing. And the blessing that they're looking for is their person. That's what brings them to the 10. Everything is ready. They just need their person. And with this 6 of Cups here, I feel like they're looking kind of towards the past for it. If they're not looking towards a certain person, if you yourself, viewer, if you're resonating with this and you yourself are thinking of a certain person, it might be that you're trying to pull in a relationship that reminds you of that previous relationship. Not necessarily reminds you of the person, but it could be that lovey kind of very innocent love feeling that you had with somebody else. Now you're ready to accept it again. Not necessarily with the same person, but it could be. I mean, 6 of Cups is nostalgia for a sweet past. Um, but this, oh, I forgot. This is on the reverse side. Okay, so here's the front side of the 6 of Cups. We've got a little mermaid, or just a girl who maybe was feeling right about jumping in the canal, and she's like, hey, come on in here with me. Meaning, get into this emotional area with me, right? The emotions, this love and connection that symbolized by water, that she is already in. And she's calling down to him, asking him to join her. And this is like, look, they're young, they're kids, you know. So, and he's thinking about it. So the masculine maybe in the connection is a little bit hesitant, but the feminine's all in. But see here on the back of the card, this is the one we drew. It's dark, it's nighttime, they're still gone. It's like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? No, this guy doesn't know where them kids are because they took off and they're canoodling. This is being caught up in fulfillment to the detriment of responsibility. So it's like, it's a school night, you guys, right? It's a school night. You got work in the morning, whatever your commitments are. Part of that energy, part of that sweet connection in the past was throwing off those responsibilities to enjoy each other. Okay. But then we have the 5 of Cups. It's saying turn back to love and share your cup. So yeah, somebody's definitely looking towards that past that they lost. The 5 of Cups is loss. And they're protecting the 2 of Cups, and that, again, the 2 of Cups made itself known in the pre-shuffle very, very intently. So here's the 2 of Cups in the 5. I don't know if this is fear because of this this Page of Wands being maybe a little unsure of themselves. I don't know if this was fear of loss or looking back at a loss, because we got a 6 of Cups here. The lovers are gone, and here we've got the 5 of Cups of loss and heartbreak, disappointment, yeah, and regret. But there is love to salvage, that 2 of Cups. So that's saying, so on the front side of this cup, he's mourning the loss of the 3, okay? But those 3 cups were empty. or they had poison in them, or just water, or just, something ended. And he's protecting that Two of Cups. Turn back to love and share your cup. So with this Five of Cups coming in under the Nine, and the Nine is saying you're ready for something long term as opposed to fleeting pleasure. But then we had the Six of Cups here saying you kind of caught up in fulfillment and instead of responsibility. So maybe that was the loss here. Okay, because we do have you're protecting this Two of Cups, and it's saying turn back to love and share. Now, the Wheel of Fortune here means using your willpower to ride the wheel and influence your fate, okay? You make your destiny. So, again, we have this feeling of something coming back around. The wheel's always turning. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes you come around and revisit the past. And that's what this Six of Cups is talking about, with the Five of Cups in between. There was a loss here. I heard the facade is that it's not going to be there. The facade is that you're afraid they're not going to be there, or it's not going to be there. So now, for the ones that resonate with the it's not going to be there, you're kind of afraid that you're not going to find that. It's like chasing the dragon, when you get that first hit and it's amazing. And it's like that's what this Six of Cups represents. That first one that was amazing. And you're like, I want that again. I want that again. Not necessarily the same person, but that same kind of nostalgic. I want that first love again, right? And for this column here, the facade, with this Page of Wands, he hasn't moved yet, so he's standing there looking out like, yeah, I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna go get that Nine of Cups. I'm ready. I'm gonna go get that. But he hasn't stepped yet, right? He's just looking. He's just plotting. He's just, mulling it over, getting ready to announce that he wants to go. Okay? But there's that trepidation there. His feet haven't moved yet. So he's just standing there wishing so far. And I think the facade here is what they're saying is there's the fear with the page that it won't be there because they're gone out of this picture. Because you at the time it wasn't anything long term, but now you want long term. So the page is looking towards that Nine of Cups thinking, what if that's not there? What if what if there's passion? What if there's a connection? What if there's everything's fun and you guys get along? What if all that good is there, but what if the longevity isn't? That's what somebody is fearing about this Two of Cups. So on the hidden truth, Nine of Cups, you are ready. Okay? You are ready for long-term happiness versus fleeting pleasures, because you had that loss before. And it says now you're ready to turn back to love and share your cup, because that's all that's missing. So if this is the other person for you, viewer, you're ready and they're almost ready because they're getting out of a heartbreak. They're getting out of loss and regret. And it could be that they're regretful of the breakup the first time around. Or that could be you. You saw that as a loss. You saw that you were ready. They maybe weren't because they were in page energy. So they were caught up in the idea of this was fulfillment for the moment, but not anything long term. You were ready. And when you realized that they didn't have the same agenda as you, or you, they, them, remember, I can only read the energy. I can't tell you which one you are. Then there was that Five of Cups, that loss, that regret, okay? It was also a loss of a friendship because the Three of Cups is what's tipped over in this card, and the Three of Cups is celebrating with friends. So it's almost to me like, when the honeymoon glaze, or the fog of the honeymoon, faded, and you looked at the situation, there was a loss of it wasn't joyful anymore. It was, you felt like there was something lost here, and you regretted that, or they regretted that. Like I said, this energy is regretful of losing that Nine of Cups. But this other person here is kind of like that. They came into it with good intentions. They're not being cold about this, but they came in saying, I didn't expect this to go anywhere. And it's not like they're saying, oh my goodness, I didn't expect this to really go anywhere and now I'm in love. It's more like, I did not expect this to go anywhere, so why is this put on me? you know that's for some in the collective. Okay, that's for some. You may resonate with what I said before. Just stick with that. So the reality is, we've got a Nine of Swords here, and this is fear. This is anxiety. This is putting somebody really in their head, in their thoughts. It's negativity. um, I can't read that. Oh, which troubles are real and which are imagined? That's Nine of Swords energy. Libra energy, unfortunately. Yeah. What torments you more than your own brain sometimes? That's why, Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, it's all that mental energy that kind of we do to ourselves. Or we find something out, like that information, that clarity, that the swords are clarity and truth and information. And sometimes that can hurt, right? Sometimes that can put you in your brain about things. So this Nine of Swords, is the reality here is that um, this has caused a lot of anxiety. And I think there's fear here that with this Wheel of Fortune, if this comes back around, the opportunity comes back around, that it's just gonna, it's gonna, um, how do they want me to say this? It's gonna freeze somebody. They're gonna just shut down for a little bit, because that Nine of Swords is gonna have them in their head. So the reality is, I think, in emotionally, somebody is ready to reconnect. Somebody is ready not just to reconnect with another person, but to like reconnect themselves. Like, I'm seeing somebody plug themselves back in to their own heart chakra, right? They're plugging themselves. They're coming back around to wanting to open up to love again. Okay, but I think there's a fear of, what if it's not as good as it was the first time? And these feelings of nostalgia could be nostalgia for one of those first love kind of relationships. And it also could have been with a fire sign in the past, or somebody with fire in their chart. Like, they had me explain my fire moon. So it could be a moon, it could be rising, it could be anything. We don't have really any other signs here. We just got this lonely fire sign, this lonely page. Hmm. So I'm gonna say, viewer, that this could be you in this kind of tentative but excited. You know what I mean? Like nervous but excited. Emotionally, you're ready. But there's the fear here, the anxiety of what if the old comes back around? I heard that's, okay, hang on. How do I explain that? For better or worse, your fear is that what if the old comes back around? So they're giving me a feeling of not only the people who are afraid that the bad comes back around, but there are some of you out there who are afraid of the good coming back too. Like, I don't know if you're afraid of a certain person coming back or just afraid of the idea that, uh, you know, a fresh new love could come back and it could be good. And then what? And the person here up in that page energy was like, I was not prepared for this to go anywhere. See what I mean? So that's very interesting that it's so love oriented. I'm usually not plugged into that. I'm a jaded old lady. So I kind of like don't get into that very much. But this feels very emotional. Now, these, again, it could be two different people. It could be this person that really is enthusiastic about opening back up, but they're in their head. And it could be somebody who's afraid of going back to the past because it was, could it be that good again? But the key with the Six of Cups, they always want me to remind you, is that the memory is always sweeter than the reality was. Okay? Um, sometimes the reality is that the memory was sweeter than what the truth was. Okay? And for some, the reason for that could be that, the other person or you wasn't really ready for that to go anywhere. You were enjoying it for what it was at the time, and it was sweet and innocent and accepting and brand new and very adventurous. And maybe you or them or both of you weren't really expecting that to lead to anything. And now here's somebody that is ready, but that's causing them a lot of anxiety because they don't know if they go for it with a new person or with or rekindling an old relationship, is it gonna be that sweet again? You know what I mean? Because that would cause the loss of their Nine of Cups energy, right? But the Wheel of Fortune is here anchoring it, telling you that you have um you make your destiny here. Okay, you choose how you proceed on the wheel this time around. You choose how you proceed here. Okay, so use your willpower to ride out the wheel and influence your fate. Okay, you hold your destiny. It's gonna be the same if you let it be the same, for good or bad. If it was a good, sweet little relationship from the past and it ended on good terms, it can come back around. Okay? For good or bad, you decide you decide your destiny here. Hmm. Now I know in a previous reading we were getting the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands tells us there is a choice and pathway. Okay, you got to choose which way you go. And in the card, there's birds in the sky, and they're geese. And geese come back around to their old breeding grounds year after year after year. So that's talking about like a cycle. There's talking about maybe a soulmate cycle where the opportunity to interact with that person comes back around. Okay, but with the Two of Wands, um, you have the choice to go a different path. Okay, but you're back at this point again. That's the key to the geese. You're coming back around to something, to a choice again. Okay? And I think it's further in the future because you're blocking yourself, or somebody's blocking themselves. Because if we don't have the Two of Wands, so that means that the choice isn't presented yet. But maybe with the Wheel of Fortune, the divine is telling you it's coming around. It's in the future. It's coming around. Your opportunity is coming back around, whether it's with the original person or with a connection that feels just like it. Okay? Now that's might be better for most of us because there could be some toxic stuff in the past, and even though the person comes back around and you might have an opportunity, there's the choice of what if it's not as sweet, right? Okay, so that's what I have for the hidden truths. There was a Two of Cups that wanted to be addressed here. There's recognition, okay? Something, it's the, I, maybe the love at first sight thing. But even if it's not love at first sight, there is a recognition at first sight that you are somebody, or they are somebody that your souls will connect, okay? And maybe one is very enthusiastic about the possibility, but one is in their head about what if I make the same mistakes? What if this just feels like the old relationship, but then I don't want to settle, right? In the pre-shuffle, the Eight of Cups fell out in the reverse, and that was talking about settling, but being discontent about it. They don't want to do that. Nobody wants that. So that's what I have. Let's get an oracle message, ancestor oracle message for today. Talking about this Two of Cups. I heard for some of you, they're coming back changed for the better. Because moving on from the Six of Cups, you all have experiences that change you, and you meet other people, and that changes you, and you have goals to meet, and that changes you. So they're coming back, or the situation is coming back changed. So let's try to get an oracle message, please, for this loving but tentative Two of Cups. We have spring. Okay. So see your seeds grow. So maybe it's going to come around in the spring. Maybe it's starting now, and in the spring it will like bloom into something else, right? Something more. That's not bad. That's like 6 months away, right? March. So 6, 7 months away. Okay, spring with the rabbit on there. It says, see your seeds grow. You see it? Okay. It says, enhance the change that is on the horizon. Embrace the change that is on the horizon. Okay, so that definitely has to do with that Wheel of Fortune. I also heard if you're not ready, then wait a little bit, and when it comes around again, you'll be ready. That's what the message from the Wheel of Fortune is telling me. It says, fine, if you're not ready, then wait. But it's going to be different next time. So are you going to be ready for that next time? Because it's going to be a different person. It's going to be a different situation. You're looking for that same emotional connection, but then grab it when it comes. Okay? It says, embrace the change that is on the horizon. Allow your dreams to become reality. It says, you are ready to bring to life all of your ideas, aspirations, and projects. When this card appears, you're moving into a space that allows you to really grow, expand, and create in a way you've never done before. There are opportunities here for abundance, including financial growth. And if you're starting something new, prepare for a major expansion in your life and your soul. When the spring card comes in the future position of a spread, or it is the last card in the reading, as this one is, it can also indicate that the coming spring will usher in important energies that in regards to your question or intentions. Okay, so for some in the collective, they're saying prepare because the opportunity to find that Two of Cups may come around in the spring. Okay. But they're saying prepare now, especially with this Nine of Swords. They're telling you, giving you plenty of time to get your mind right, get your head straight. And then in the spring, when you're ready, then in the spring there'll be an opportunity. But I'm also hearing for some that if you start now, then with the situation, with the relationship, with the connection, with this new person, if you start now, then it'll come to another level in the spring. You know what I mean? There's going to be growth either way for springtime for whoever this resonates with. If you wait and try to get out of that Nine of Swords, then you'll be ready in the spring, and it may appear, it may make itself known to you in the spring. For others, if you start now, you'll get a level up in the spring. I hope that made sense. What are we at? 17? No, it's longer than that. I'll let it go there. So that's what I have for the hidden truths. You're ready, but you're not ready. You're tentative, or whoever this person is, they're ready, they're not ready. You're ready, they're not ready, vice versa. And there's fear that if you wait too long, maybe in the next cycle, it's not going to be as sweet. Okay. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I think is the general collective read for Wednesdays. So thank you for sticking with. Oh, I'm available for personal readings and birth chart inquiries, and my information is in the description. You'll find my email, Venmo, and Cash App. That's how you can pay for the reading, or just drop a donation. So thank you for sticking with me, and until I see you again in the next reading. Okay, thanks. Bye.